Welcome back to WCCF Talks Gaming. We've been away for a while, but we are back, and we got some good topics today. We're going to talk about GameStop at the end. Guy's got some stuff on there. He's going to give me the skinny on that one because some people made money, some people lost money, and some people lost their minds. But we're going to talk about Resident Evil Village, and we're going to kick things off talking about Microsoft Xbox Live Gold, stumbles, fumbles, and mishaps. But before we do that, I'm your host, Keith. We've got Chris, Kai, and Alessio here today with us for the show. Say hello, everyone.
Yo.
Hello. Today.
All right. So one of our segments on the loading screen segment over on the channel here, we took a look at Microsoft did an oopsie and decided they were going to raise the price of Xbox Live Gold by quite a substantial amount. Did you guys see that earlier this week?
Yeah.
Or last week, rather, at this point?
They were so clearly trying to push everybody towards Game Pass.
I mean, obviously, a Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold was going to essentially double in price for a 6-month subscription cost the same as a year did prior to the change. I mean, I get.
I think it was going to it was going to be 2/3 of the price of Game Pass or something.
Essentially,
and so Game Pass was $15 and Gold was 10 or whatever.
Yes, 10 a month. It's like I said in that video, Game Pass is a great value if that's what you want, because you get Game Pass Ultimate, gets you on the PC, gets you on the console, gets you Xbox Live Gold as well. So from a value standpoint, it's absolutely wonderful. I totally get why you would want it. I mean, I have it, I use it, but I know a lot of people who they have their Xbox, but they only play a handful of games that they already have, and they just want the gold to be able to play with their friends with those games that they already play. They don't care about, the Xbox, the games with gold is a nice incentive. They're happy with that. They get those games every now and then. Do you guys know anybody personally who had objections to this and had things to say? Because I know a lot of people here locally within the same town that I live in who were very upset about it.
I've heard a few friends who were just like, that's too expensive, because it was going up here in the UK, but not by that much. I think it was going by, I think it was only going to be raised by about £1 because we had a price, right? They raised the prices here in the UK about 3-4 years ago.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends, their kids, all they play is going to be Fortnite, Warzone, the usual free-to-play stuff. So for them, the price increase there was pretty substantial. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that for years, Microsoft has kept the 1-month price of Xbox Live Gold at $10. This was true back when I worked at GameStop half a decade ago. So this is kind of keeping it in line with that original 1-month price, which was never a deal to begin with. This was just a holdover, hey, you can't get yourself a 6 or 12-month card right now. Just get yourself the 1 month. That way you can still keep playing your games with your friends. But the price increase across the board just didn't feel great. But even if you did want to get in with Game Pass Ultimate, one of the big tricks that people have done is you load yourself up on Xbox Live Gold for, a cheap amount, and you buy yourself 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate, usually for $1 or so, and that converts all of your gold to Game Pass time.
Okay.
And I think this was I'm sure someone at Microsoft was crunching the numbers. They saw that people were taking advantage of this and cutting into the profits from Ultimate. So they probably thought that this was a way to kind of cut that off.
But that's something they did themselves. That was an oversight on their end that by even allowing that to be a thing. Because that was such an easy exploit.
I mean, even I think I got about 2 years worth of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for super cheap because of their super discounts they had.
If you happen to live in Brazil, it's $20-$30 for a year of gold.
Holy crap!
That's not bad.
I was saying in that case that's a good deal. But there is some. They walked it back. So they walked it back. They heard their audience and walked it back really quick. Now, some people could argue that they were just trying to see if they could get away with it. Clearly,
Mhm.
it was not going to be as easy as somebody may have thought it was, where they just up the price and everybody's like, "Sure, we'll just keep shelling it out," or they were clearly not looking forward to the idea of upgrading to um, Game Pass Ultimate, because when you do
Yeah.
the total numbers for a year, what is it, like $190 a year for Game Pass Ultimate? I mean,
180. Yeah.
so 180 for that, or 120 for gold, which was 60. So that 60 to 180 is a big jump. 120 up isn't. What a lot of people looked at that, and I think Kai, you brought up the numbers earlier. The PlayStation Network, the free to play games, you just play them on a PlayStation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So are you better off just grabbing Sony's console and playing these free to play games for free? Or are you going to pay the same amount? You see what I'm
Well,
like?
I mean that's also one of the changes they're making since the backlash. So
Well,
basically, this
that's why I was leading to that. Is
They're
like,
gonna let
do you think
people
they
pay for
changed? It kind of exposed to a whole lot of people that maybe didn't realize that the PlayStation allowed you to play these free to play games without a subscription service.
I think people have realized. I think that is it to an extent. I think people have just realized that Microsoft have been charging to be a gatekeeper for online play, which wasn't necessary. But they got away with it. They got away with it for so long because they were the first console to really roll it out in a
Yeah,
big way. And yeah, PlayStation joined in. It was never as good. Even as a PlayStation fan, I had to
yeah.
admit
The
their online
PlayStation
service
Plus is
wasn't
kind
good.
of
But it's like Sony have managed to get up to that level to a good extent, and I think people have realized, just a second, why do I have to pay to play online? Like my and I've always had this argument way back with the original Xbox. And obviously I'm talking from PC perspective. It's like Microsoft don't actually spend that much money. It's not like Microsoft are hosting the servers for all the
yeah.
games.
Even the
It's not
games
like
that,
Microsoft are,
like Call of Duty, where it was
yeah,
client hosting, there was no server.
yeah.
You were paying to access your friends.
You were
Yeah,
literally paying to access the game.
yeah.
It's
So
like I've already bought the
I
game, and
I
why
will
take like
I,
30%?
I will say I think the changes they made were good. Rolling it back, putting the price back in line with where it was. But the biggest kick was like what Alessio was talking about, was the fact that you no longer need gold to play the free to play game. So if you had an Xbox and you just want to
You doing lunch?
play
Okay.
and you just want to play
Fortnite,
Fortnite or
Rocket
Warzone,
League.
now you just can. So I think at the end of the day, there's a win for the gamers. But I think this also gets people, they're going to pay a little bit more attention to what Microsoft is doing, and because they were able to walk it back like they did, I have a feeling that it's going future things that they do, there's going to be a big impact on it. Like there's going to be responses. People aren't just going to sit back anymore and be like, "Well, Microsoft's raising the prices. It is what it is." I think there's going to be they're going to get some kickback.
Backlash.
Yeah.
Get some
But
backlash.
at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that the end result was fairly good.
We've
Kai
got
is
a Kai on the
Kai is on
move.
the move. If you're watching and not listening, Kai is on the move. He is actually taking a break at work and joining us for the podcast. So he's all over the place. It's actually quite exciting from our end.
I
The
don't think he understands how to use a face mask, though. You're not meant to eat the face mask, Kai.
yeah, it covers the face.
Not in the mouth.
But let's move on to another topic real quick, because it's going to be a short one today. We don't have a whole lot of time. The next big thing is I've been talking about this one every time we've had a podcast. It's come up, but Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8, I think there's going to be contention with which one people call it. It's 8. Anyway, we got a lot more details on the game, the gameplay. We've seen the game in action. There is a demo currently. It's not of the actual Village game, but it's like a side thing. I'm really bummed that it's a PS5 exclusive, because I don't have a PS5 yet.
I do.
I don't want to hear it.
Hey, is it not coming on the PC?
Not that
Not
demo.
this time. Yeah.
They're good.
Oh, the demo.
All
Okay.
the other platforms are going to get an exclusive demo, like a separate demo, but it
Yeah.
won't be this one. But did everybody catch this all the details on Resident Evil Village?
Mhm.
I want to hear what
Yeah.
you guys think about it, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Because Chris that hasn't been paying attention.
Well, no, I know you're talking about Resident Evil Village. I'm paying attention to you. I've just not been paying attention to Resident Evil Village.
Oh no, that's what I was talking about.
I know absolutely nothing about it. I assume it's just taking place in a village somewhere.
Kai, take over.
Yeah.
It's Romanian Resident Evil 4. Just they're throwing Ethan back in there, who I'd never really grew on him as a protagonist other than, hey, cool, he has like regenerative powers in 7, but maybe they're gonna do some cool shit with it. I never famously finished 7 or really got anywhere in it, so I have
I
no idea
finished
where
it.
that game goes.
I finished 7 and all of the expansions for it. So the DLC, and I really liked it. Probably one of my favorite things with the game was like the way it started off. You were wondering, how does this even tie into Resident Evil? Because it isn't until towards the end that it really comes together, and then it's like, whoa! Or at least it was for me. Not obviously for Kai. He didn't finish the game.
Not yet. I gotta hook up my PSVR so I can finish
Oh
it.
dear, Kai. Oh,
I'm
dear.
not playing that game on PSVR. I played it on PC and I was like, I couldn't do this one in VR. I'm a chicken turd though, so
So you're happy they never brought VR for PC for the PC version?
No, they did not. So
Yeah, but yeah, actually, I played the demo, so if I can talk
yeah, tell
about
us about it. How was that?
How short
Well,
was it?
well, it's very short. It is, about 10-15 minutes tops. So it's
Fair enough.
not. I don't think it's proper to call it a demo because, as Kit was saying, it's more really of a playable teaser, if you will, PT,
Okay.
and because you're not Ethan. You're not playing as Ethan, basically. You're
You
playing
play
as
Redfield instead.
No, it's a
no,
whole
no.
different character.
You're basically like a one of the prisoners, I think, because you wake up in a cell in a dungeon, and you have to make your way, up to the house, to the main house, and basically you're one of the prisoners of this kind of coven of witches, which you might have seen the videos
Oh yeah.
of vampires. Yeah, and actually, it is very, very dark in terms of actually seeing stuff. I mean, there is very little light sources, so it is even just by that token it is quite scary. And I think of course on the PS5 the graphics were great overall.
Were they as good
So
as what they showed? Because I am skeptical because that game looked really good on what they showed on the showcase.
well, yeah, actually on the I didn't see the whole showcase thing, so I can't comment on that.
Okay.
But yeah, the PS5 demo is pretty great on that count. So of course I'm expecting PC to be, potentially even better, with max
Well,
max settings.
PC should always be
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to it, but I'm starting to get a bit. I'm having my. Now, I don't want to necessarily call them concerns, but I am. There are things that I'm watching out for because Kai mentioned this is very much reminiscent of what I saw with Resident Evil 4. And as I have so infamously stated in the past, that was my least favorite Resident Evil game.
Actually, the demo is pretty much, I think, 7 in terms of because you can't fight you don't fight at all in the
Yeah,
demo.
but in
Uh,
the showcase, they showed a lot of the teases for like the combat, that it's
Yeah.
going to be a heavy focus on combat is what it looks like.
Well, I have to agree with Kai on that because I mean, Resident Evil 7, yeah, I hear it was very scary, but to be honest, it didn't even feel like Resident Evil in a lot of things because it was. I mean, if you look at the key facts of the game, it was first person, whereas Resident Evil had always been third person.
Mhm.
It
It became
was
action more than anything else.
yeah, and it was no basically combat was very limited. I mean, there was a story reason because of course Ethan was not a soldier, as in every other Resident Evil game you play the soldier,
Yeah.
right? So okay, but at the same time, I cannot but think that Resident Evil is in some way at least connected to action. So I think that in doing I think this is going to be like a hybrid of the best elements, hopefully between 7 and 4.
I hope
So
so.
scarier, but with some more action, hopefully without ruining the scary part. So that's my
I'm
thoughts.
interested in how they explain the vampire and werewolf element.
Um,
Yeah.
Umbrella Corp.
But
No, Umbrella's gone.
Oh
I
no,
can
they'll bring it back. I'm telling you.
tell you that the vampires are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they are really cool. I'm less concerned about the vampires as I am the werewolf side of things. Because when I saw the vampires, I was like, these are cool. I dig them. Not just because they're really crazy looking chicks, and that one is like 8'5", like super tall vampire lady. So
Yeah, I think she has like already some kind of cult worshipping
oh
her
yeah.
on
So
the web.
so all in all, the showing so far, Resident Evil 8 looking promising, coming out in May. They said the end of May, isn't it?
May 7th, I think.
Oh, May 7th. So the first part of May, even better,
Yeah.
even better.
Resident Evil Village.
Yep.
Let's have a look for you.
And there is also the multiplayer side. What did you think about that? Not sure.
Yeah, 7th of May.
Reverse.
A lot of the spin-off multiplayer stuff has been garbage, to say the
Yeah.
least. Operation Raccoon City, I played it for, a week or two, never thought about it since. Never touched Resistance when that came out with 3. I never played Umbrella Corps. Like, Mercenaries is probably my favorite of all the multiplayer spin-offs, and I would love to see them kind of do that again, but with this one, they're just kind of throwing all of the newer RE engine characters into just like a silly little multiplayer battlefield. It's
No,
reusing
thank
a
you.
lot of the same assets. Like, you're seeing the same character models from 7, RE2, RE3, and so forth. And they're using the same levels, but they're shrinking the characters down to make them fit, which looks kind of comical in action.
So you're getting like a tyrant
sounds a
that's the
bit
same
weird.
size as someone else.
Yeah, but then you're saying, okay, you're playing through the police station from 2, and everything's like 200% scale.
I'm not interested at all in the multiplayer. I actually think that it's a waste of resource and time and effort that could otherwise be placed somewhere else. Or maybe it's
Oh,
that they got
absolutely.
done with everything else and they're like, "Hey, we got time. Let's make this multiplayer thing because that's what everybody wants is multiplayer Resident Evil."
I think multiplayer games are really big these days. So I think Capcom is really trying hard and failing so far to have a successful multiplayer version of Resident Evil.
But
Because
it
in
needs to
theory
just
it
be
could
it.
be. Sorry.
They need to just make one. It's so far it's just
Yeah.
they're tacking it on to something else and
I think
nobody's
they made Umbrella Corps, but yeah, that was shit.
maybe
Yeah.
you could just at
Make
some
another merc,
point
or we need another raid mode from the Revelations. Like, that was probably one of their better offerings in recent years.
yeah. So I mean, as it stands, I think there's a wasted development time and energy on Resident Evil 8 multiplayer because I really think it's going to turn out just like what we've seen in the past. I have no I would not buy Resident Evil 8 and go, "Oh cool, there's multiplayer." It would be I would buy Resident Evil 8 and go, "Oh look, there's multiplayer next."
I think it's just a series that needs, as long as it focuses on a good single player,
It
adding
doesn't need
multiplayer,
it.
not a bad thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's just there.
So I think we all agree so far for the most part. Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil Village. It's we're on good tracks. Hopefully we don't have a Cyberpunk repeat, and that's all I'm going to say about Cyberpunk this episode.
Yeah,
Until
let's
they
not.
actually release the game, we'll talk about them
Yeah,
later.
we'll get
Um,
that early access one day.
But on our way out, we want to talk about what's going on with this whole thing last week with GameStop. Like, what happened with their stock? Like, I was at lunch. And I looked down and my phone's blowing up and everybody's like, stop stock. And I was like, why? That said,
Stonks.
yeah, right.
Stonks.
Stonks. I'm like, they're dead in the water. Why isn't even? And then it just took off. Kai, what happened? What was the deal?
God, I wish I knew because like the new consoles came out and GameStop stock barely did anything. Like it floated like $10. I think it went up to maybe like 16, maybe $20 by the end of the year.
I know
But
it
it wasn't
went to its
until
highest level since in some like 14 years.
Yeah.
since before they started losing all their sales to all these companies making their games digital, you know. It was kind of a weird perfect storm. You had the CEO of Chewy, Ryan Cohen, was joining the board, and then this research group called Citron Research was pretty much just saying, "Hey, GameStop stock is going to drop, so everyone should just short this stock." Um, and I guess like Wall Street Bets, that subreddit was just kind of planning on this, and they were saying, "Hey, you know, there's an opportunity here for what they're calling a short squeeze." I don't really know the specifics, but I'm guessing just kind of forcing all these sellers that want to sell their stock short to kind of pick up the bag at some point.
Mm.
I don't know like the order of events that happened, but essentially GameStop stock just skyrocketed at least 60, probably 70% on one day alone.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I said, I actually found out that it was happening through a coworker at my day job who was day trading it. And he started laughing hysterically. And it was about the time, I think, Kai, you shared the information in a group chat talking about it. And I
Yeah.
looked down and I was like, and he knew that I do with the site. And he goes, "What's going on with GameStop? I'm making a killing over here." And I was like, well, I know he's not trading in used games if he's making a killing. And that's what he said. He's like, "No, I've been trading on it all day and I'm up over $1,000." And I was like, "What?"
but I don't know
Yeah,
if you have read this
I'm aware
article.
of it. Yeah,
Were they
This
halted
article of
trading on it because it was getting out of control?
yeah, they've halted trading because it essentially the stock price has been manipulated by
Yeah,
Clearly.
it
a
hit
Yeah.
massive
circuit
surge.
breakers at least 2, maybe 3 times in one day alone.
Yeah,
So basically, I think
he
it
should have
was
been stopped halfway through the day. Well,
it
quarter way through the day.
it
Yeah,
was a
it
bunch
got
of
locked right after we finished up our lunch meeting.
redditors
Mm.
who basically
Mhm.
started this whole thing. So
Oh god.
and
Stop letting Reddit have power.
now they are rich, I think. I mean, at least those that participated in it.
Well,
Well,
what we
Yeah,
need to
I
do
mean,
is jump off here and figure out what stock we're going to manipulate through Reddit so that we can all be rich.
Well, no, that the thing is, whoever short sold, surely I'm right that people who short sold it, they sell it. They're selling the stock at the price it is then. It's now shot up massively. So whoever's short sold it have lost a lot of money.
yeah, because they're gonna have to buy stock before the end
They
of
have
their
to buy
options
the stock
close.
to cover what they've what
Oh,
they've sold. So
Mhm.
people have short sold it, and whoever's on the other end of it, I don't know if people done it to take the piss or just to screw with screw with the institution. But people have bought the stock; it's gone skyrocketed, and whoever's shorted it, oh my god, the money they've lost. If
yeah.
they even if they bought, let's say they short sold about even $1,000 worth at the time, they've probably now lost a they're probably buying back a oh god. I should think. I really should think because GameStop at the end of that trading was worth it added more value than the company was actually worth at the start of the day.
Yeah.
Nice.
the value increased by $1.72 billion or something silly like that.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
insanity.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand the stock market at all. Like, there was that weird time middle of last year where oil futures went negative for like the rest of the day.
Yeah, they had to pay people to hold on to oil, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was. It wasn't that they couldn't buy it. It was like, please hold it. There's nowhere for it to go. Therefore,
Yeah.
we're having to pay you to keep it. So that
Which
wasn't
it made
that
sense at the time because obviously the pandemic and
yeah.
everything, and this was during the initial lockdown where people
You couldn't move.
understood that for some reason people understood that this was killing you back then and they forgot that. I
Yeah.
don't understand how you can forget that something can kill you, but yeah.
Short-term memory.
Yeah.
But does anybody have anything to wrap it up with today on this short episode? Now that we've made fun of
Actually, we have kind of a breaking news if you
ah
if you
Oh.
what
Yeah,
what
go
do we
on.
got? What do we got?
Well, Francesco put up a news just I think an hour ago or so
Oh,
about
I'm
a
seeing this one.
new Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game with in development, but outside of EA/Bioware. This is basically it is a rumor yet, but it is one that it has good sources. I mean, including Jason Schreier and Shinobi, who is quite well informed with regards to Bioware adjacent things.
So could be BioWare developing. Could it be the good BioWare or the Anthem BioWare?
No, it said it's not. It's outside the EA,
Oh,
the
right.
studio, so it's some.
Okay.
Maybe
That's
they
gonna be
have
interesting.
contracted someone else to do it.
Do you think they could
Not
have
sure.
contracted any of the original people that worked on the original games?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I
it's
don't.
just a KOTOR game made by someone else.
It's the KOTOR game in well, it isn't a KOTOR game, it's just using the name.
That's what I mean. If it's not the same people that
Yeah.
made the thing that made it great, then it's just something being made with its name. I'm skeptical.
Don't
I'm
get me
going to
wrong, if they got Obsidian on it, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
You know
although
what? I don't think it's gonna be like any studio we're thinking of. I would honestly guess it could be whatever Telltale Games turned into, Sky, whatever. I think they're not gonna do an RPG approach. I think they're gonna try something weird
That's fair enough.
like this.
Real-time strategy.
well, I don't know if I don't think it is a KOTOR game if it isn't at least partially RPG. So it is.
Real-time strategy role-playing.
Like I said,
Uh,
gonna have to wait and see what they do with this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's too early to know.
I mean, yeah. But the interesting thing is also, Disney allowing other developers to take the license,
Yeah,
like
it makes sense
Like
for Disney
Ubisoft?
though. They can make a hell of a
Yeah.
lot more money by
Well, and look how
letting
poorly
everybody jump in.
EA has handled it over the years.
It's good for if other studios do good with it, it's good for Disney anyway. They make more money. They got a reputation boost. Well, not reputation, but it's a visibility boost. It's the Star Wars license. It's always visible, but it's just more money. And if the games are good, it is that reputation and visibility boost.
I
So people think, oh my god, it's not a shit Star Wars game.
well, I think
Yeah.
letting Respawn do what they did with the license showed that
Yeah.
maybe it's okay to let somebody else try something,
Definitely.
because that was
yeah.
a fantastic game that Respawn put together.
And then we wait
You-
and find that Ubisoft Star Wars game. And I'm curious what the towers are going to be like in that one.
But you guys excited about the new Indiana game?
Nope.
I think we did.
Until we get told something, no. Because it's like I love Indiana Jones, I do, but I need to if it's Uncharted, then no, I'm not excited about it.
Because I've already played that.
Yeah,
Well,
because I
I doubt
I
it
don't
can
want it to be open world, but I want it to be something. Just I want it to be
So,
something.
what do you want it to be? More Tomb Raider?
In fact, I
than
do want it to be
Uncharted?
open world. I want it to be not Ubisoft open world though. Give it to Horizon. Just make Uncharted Horizon. Uncharted Horizon Dawn. No. Indiana Jones Horizon Uncharted Dawn.
Okay.
All right. I think that's a good point to rip. You clearly need to go to work and do something productive.
Hey,
No,
me too.
I'm not doing anything productive. I will be going to work though. I refuse to be productive.
There you go. Well, guys, that's all I have for today. Has anybody got any last words on the way out? Nothing.
They're taking the Obis to Isengard. Okay.
Going to throw the
Bye.
ring. It's my ring.
King of the North.
It's my precious. All right, guys. We'll catch you all on the next one.
Yep.
See you in a bit.